Not being able to talk to someone about who you love is kind of a tragedy, frankly. That's not loving somebody for who they truly are, if they don't know who I truly am. I think they might be missing out on a deep part of my soul. That to me is sort of perpetuating the abuse or that not language when I was a kid by just going, we don't talk about that. And so you are left, Eddie, deal with that all by yourself. There's no language, like earlier on as a kid, there's no language or a playbook for you to figure this out, but good luck, because we're not gonna talk about it. That's really hard. But I also look on my life, and it's only been recently that I've ever talked about being open about my sexuality or my relationships because of the way that I was raised. I grew up in the South. I grew up on a farm in Riverdale, Georgia, where my cousins were my neighbors. I knew I felt different, but I didn't know how or why. And I think for me, there weren't words or a language to describe what I was feeling. I remember attraction to other people, especially strong presence. I just felt something. And I guess maybe my soul, it was not sexual. I want to be real clear about that because I didn't even know what sex was. Then as I got older, to then start having these feelings that what I was trying to discover, apparently, it was bad. And people making you feel bad about what it was I was trying to become. I was just trying to grow up. I was just trying to, like everybody else, have a chance. And these boys cornered me and found me by this tree. And one of the kids picked up these crab apples, started throwing them at me. Well, they weren't ripe. They were these hard things that felt like rocks. And these kids just started throwing them at me and throwing them at me and throwing them at me. And as a kid, I just wanted to fit in. And when I tried to fit in, I didn't fit in. I was physically smaller than a lot of the other kids too, and the pretty little boy, or the pretty little Edith that they called. In fact, the name Edith, to this day, hurts my heart. And that's what kids call me. My name's Eddie, it starts with E, so you give him a girl's name and you just call him a girl, or you call him Sissy. But even to this day, I hear Edith called somewhere and I turn and it just shakes me. And it was relentless. If there was a language, they were all derogatory and they were mean. And these weren't just kids, they were adults. Things like queer or faggot. And then my dad took me to try out for baseball and dropped me off, didn't stick around with me. And I was just sort of meant to figure it out, and I didn't. Actually, I was really uncomfortable, didn't know what I was doing or why I was there, if I even wanted to play baseball. So I walked home. 5 miles, I walked home. And then my dad took me back, and I think they're about to finish up, but they put me on the Angels team, and I needed glasses. The kids all made fun of me because I was bad. Well, I wasn't bad, I couldn't see. And I remember one day I had just had it with this one guy, and finally I just pushed him down to the ground and jumped on his chest and started hitting him in the head. You get pushed and beaten, you probably start to develop a few tools along the way of how do you survive. We didn't talk about depression, there's no such thing. You just suck it up. Shake it off. That was what you were told. Shake it off, get up, go. But I probably was depressed. Early on, I discovered music. The band teachers came to elementary school and they played all these instruments. They said, we're gonna be starting a band and we wanna know if you're interested. We're gonna play these instruments. If you're interested in the way this sounds or you like it, come talk to us afterwards. You know what I signed up for? The flute. I played that flute every single day. Music was not just an escape. It was also somewhere where I could channel my energy and my talents, but it also helped me stay safe from the bullies. Because if you recognize talent, you'll leave Edith alone because he can play that flute. And then just after that, I learned that I could sing. And I sang in these quartets. And people were more interested in seeing my talents than making fun of me or bullying me. I felt alone a lot. The music definitely helped. Music is nothing more than math. That's what music is. It's rhythms and distance from one note to the next. That's simple. Music is math. But when you put your soul into it, then it's art. And if you can access your heart into your art, then it's beauty. We all love music. And when you really love it, it can take you away. I was the first tenor in a quartet. I don't know if your quartet has a bass, a baritone, a tenor, and a first tenor, the highest voice. That's the voice that I sang. It was the highest voice. And they're harder to find. This boy decided to lock me in a drum case because I was little. And I got out of the drum case and I said to him, I'm the most talented part of this group and I'm the one that you need. And if you ever do it again, I'll stop singing. It was the only time I ever did that, and after that, he protected me. A quartet's 4 tires, like on a car. You need all 4. They're equally as important. But if you're lacking the rarest of the voices, good luck. You were either straight or nothing else. That was the option. And if you were something else, it was bad. Where all this comes from is people's fear. Fear of the different or fear of the unknown. And I think kids are taught that. But I do think there's something innate about societies. If you've got a strong something, you've got to have a weak something. You've got to have the person that they all make fun of or the village idiot. There's just the study of societies that we've got to have these roles. And we're no different now. There's just sort of this order that things are done. You start noticing around you things like boys and girls holding hands, the expectation that boys will try to feel up girls or they're going to try to sleep together. And then there's proms and boys go with girls and you buy them corsages. I absolutely knew that that didn't fit. It didn't feel right. When I was in high school, driving out I-20 east, you go down a hill and you see Atlanta. I used to call it Oz because I knew that I had to get out. I knew that I had to get out of a small town. It is hard to leave something that feels comfortable. And I would say that those people that find themselves lost or trapped, whether it's in relationships or geographies or by fear, get out. Do not replace your dreams with regrets. I never had this, oh gosh, I'm gonna come out and tell people. I was lucky. I was a singer and I was doing theater and I was effeminate. I mean, I'm part of that. It's like, again, that's my story, but I never had to do this thing where, oh, people were just shocked. Oh, you're gay? I was like, oh yeah, we knew. In fact, most adults probably knew before I did. I guess the part that kind of hurts as an adult to go, wouldn't it have been nice if somebody would have helped me along? Could you give me a break? Help me just a little bit, or say it's okay. It's okay to be different. When you choose the language of hate or mean, that's part of just regular old society, sadly. Like I have a niece and I just wish she'd never get hurt. I think that we all hope that for all kids, but it happens. Somebody's gonna hurt them. They're gonna call them Edith. They're gonna get their heart broken, and hopefully it won't break them. It's 1973, it says. And that's little Edith. That's who they called Edith. That's who they threw the crab apples at. That's who they bullied. That is an innocent little beautiful boy who didn't know how mean they're going to be to him. Or that they're going to hurt him. And like, those are the kinds of things that I would like to say to him or some other person, to go, it's going to be hard. And you don't have anybody that you can talk to or rely on. And you're going to be sad. And you're not going to know why. I would say to him, don't give up. Because it's worth it. You are going to be fantastic. Shine. Shine as bright as you can through that prism, because your color is out there. Go. Be courageous. It ain't gonna be easy, it's gonna be hard. He was innocent of any wrongdoing. He didn't do anything wrong. He just wanted to love and be loved. and also to figure out who he was. And yet, at that age, he's damaged? No. He's perfect. You are somebody's sister, or daughter, or mother, and I'm somebody's brother and son. And everybody in front of you is somebody. And we should treat everybody like they are somebody and that they matter. If we don't, we'll just keep doing all this hatred stuff. And gosh, that's not a way to live, is it? And then I would also probably say to these other people now,
and life will
Edith,
always be.
Edith is doing just fine. And he's happy.
Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be loving.